back to our segment on the business of sports. Today we have the honor of hosting a true master of his craft, Sensei Leon Guild. With a wealth of experience in karate, Sensei Guild has not only developed his skills on the mat, but also demonstrated leadership with his own dojo. To mentoring students and shaping the next generation of martial artists, Sensei Guild's dedication to both the art and business of karate is definitely inspiring. Welcome, Sensei. Thank you for being on the show with us today.
Hey, thanks for inviting me.
So, Sensei, your depth of experience in karate, it has truly been inspiring. So can you give us a little bit of insights on how you've gotten here today?
So right away, I get thrown right in there, grouped with the creatives, because running a martial arts school is no easy task. It has to be fluid. It has to change with the time. Although we are respectful to tradition, our instructions have to change with the times. You know, with the collective consciousness of people, what society wants, what they're asking for. We have to be able to adapt. So it's not just sitting down and regurgitating exactly what you learned. It's twisting, constantly twisting, bending, tweaking, shaping, and a lot of traveling.
Okay. Well, you know, speaking of traveling, we know you've traveled all over the world, and it must have given you a lot of experiences. So how have these experiences shaped your teaching styles and, you know, especially, you know, the values that you have at Red Dragon Dojo?
Well, definitely. You know, martial arts, you cannot jump into a field of practice without studying a bit of the history. And what traveling has done for me, it has given me perspective with respect to the history of the martial arts, and especially the commoditization, if I can use that word, the monetizing of the tradition. So what was lost, what remains, what is, you know, what is authentic, what is not authentic. So all of those things. You know, anything that comes to the Western Hemisphere changes. Right, so if we're going to, and if you're going to establish a strong foundation in anything, yes, wherever you find, as a rule of thumb is, as long as you don't find it in the same place that it originates, you need to take it back to the place that it originates, then move forward from there. Then you can see, okay, it changed when it reached this country, it changed a bit when it reached that country, this is how it is, and this is how it ended up in Belize. And then from there I can see, okay, now I have the bird's eye view of the entire picture. And then from there, I feel the freedom to move and twist and shake and reshape as I feel.
Okay, excellent. Well, it seems that you have been enjoying your journey so far, of course.
Definitely.
So let's discuss some of the financial aspects when it comes to being a member at your dojo. Can you touch a little bit on that for us?
As in tuitions and
yes,
fees?
Yes.
Well, so we've come a long way. Right now, if you want to train with us, it's $150 Belize monthly, and that's at the beginner stage. That's for kids. It's 12 classes monthly. For adults, it's 16, depending on if you want to train karate or judo, or if you want to train both karate and judo. Okay. So the name of my dojo is the Martial Arts Academy.
Okay, Martial Arts Academy.
Right, and I tend to move away from saying Belize. Because whenever you say Belize, I'm proud of my country. Whenever you say Belize, you put yourself in the Belize box, and then you're limiting yourself. So it's the Martial Arts Academy, and I'll come back to that further into our interview. Why I don't necessarily put Belize there. So it's the Martial Arts Academy, and what people tend not to understand is that the term martial arts is an umbrella term. So when you tell someone when I say to someone, I train martial arts, I'm really not telling them anything. It's just, I'm saying I study some form of self-defense. But when you're speaking directly to karate or judo or wrestling or boxing, all of those are martial arts under the general umbrella of martial arts. So then the next follow-up question would be, which martial art do you train? So at the Martial Arts Academy, we primarily do Shotokan karate and judo. But we have jiu-jitsu, we do some capoeira, we do some kickboxing, and we train all the weapons and everything, the sword, everything. And students get a proper martial arts education when they train with us.
Okay, so you get all of that for that $150.
Well, you get to choose which program you want. Some people just want judo. Some people just want. If you just want judo, then it's 100. If you just want karate, then it's 100. If you want both, then we say it's 150. And registration is $35. And we didn't start at that price. Of course, we started way back at $75. But as we progressed and matured, in this field, and as I traveled around Central America, it kind of gives perspective. I was able to evaluate what I'm offering in Belize at what price to in El Salvador or Panama, what they're offering, and I realized that, I'm giving away a lot in Belize.
Oh, wow.
And if you go to a lot of people, the culture shock, when they leave Belize and they go to America or any of the developed countries and they try to continue their study, it's a failure. They can't do it. Okay. The price is insane. The locations are some 50 miles away. In Belize, everything is around the corner, Right. But when you go to these bigger countries, it's completely different.
So speaking of the price disparity amongst other countries, how do you ensure affordability and sustaining a quality of instructions that you have for these students?
Well, the quality of instruction is a no-brainer for us. I think we've built a reputation on the quality of our instruction, and that quality just becomes more and more refined, over the years. We try not to sell ourselves short. People will say, 150 is a lot. But now I'm in my 40s and I've been doing this for a while, and I realize the disparity between somebody who complains about the value of your product and someone who understands the value of your product. What we're giving away for $150 a month, in another country, that's something around $600 or $700 or maybe even $1,000 monthly, what we're giving away here. What we struggle with all the time is getting Belizeans to understand the value of having a martial arts education. It's not all about punching your hands and kicking your feet and beating up bullies and bad guys. It's not that. There's the spiritual aspect of it, the discipline of it, the learning myself, my physiology part of it, learning my mind, spending time with myself, becoming my own best friend. All of that is there. And what we do at the Martial Arts Academy, aka the Red Dragon Dojo, is we create an atmosphere conducive to that, conducive to you that, you're not going to be disturbed here. Everyone here, if you don't reach out and ask for help for someone outside of an official class, people will assume that you're here maybe on a Saturday and a Sunday to work on something that you're concerned about. Nobody will disturb you. And then there's always someone there for you to ask, I have a question. And then the senior students, that's their duty. If a lower rank asks you for assistance or question, that is their obligation to stop whatever they're doing and give attention first. So service is the main thing. Service to the community. This word samurai means servant. So.
Okay, good education there. But so let's talk about when you have to take your dojo or take your team somewhere across, the globe or so, for competition. What are some of the investments and some of the costs that it entails to do that?
Sport karate is very expensive.
Yeah.
Especially when you want to play on that level. There's sport karate, there's traditional karate, and there's self-defense. So those are the three aspects of any martial arts system. And normally you pick one and you specialize in one. But at the Martial Arts Academy, we specialize in all three. And, traveling isn't easy because we are in Belize and we know that sport gets the smallest budget. Overall, it's really a non-existing ministry. In other countries, you'll find that sports is actually subsidized by the private sector heavily. So we basically spend our own money. What we make, we invest in the athletes who go away. We use the sport aspect of karate for the marketing of our dojo. Mm-hmm. We've had a reputation to produce very good athletes over the years. Since before my time, I took over from Sensei Rick Bateman some years ago in 2006. And we had an established reputation as a dojo that produces good martial artists. And so the onus for me when I took over back in 2006 was to carry that And I think, I believe I've done a good job, but we do spend heavily on sport in this country. We have to fly. Nobody gives us any discounts.
No sponsorship?
No sponsorship. We do our barbecues when we have to. I have a student who started cooking, Ishmael. He's on an Olympic scholarship. So we do get very good support from the National Olympic Committee.
Okay.
Ishmael does the art of judo. He started cooking, so he bakes carrot cakes on Fridays, and the parents, they love his cooking. So little things, and then we have an extended group of supporters over the years who support, like the families, they want it, and then like right now, yesterday we had a meeting with Sports Council. We're going to El Salvador in October, so that came out, the schedule came out. The government told us what aspect of it we are responsible for. And immediately we're well traveled in Central America, so we know what it costs and how to get to any country from Belize.
Okay.
So that budget went out as of yesterday, and everyone is already focused on October in El Salvador. But we basically go into our pockets.
Okay.
But if we love it,
Yes.
And I know what traveling has done for me. I speak 4 languages because of sport karate. And here in Belize, life is easy for me because when I go to these countries, just everything, infrastructure, economy, culture, everything. You really don't know what you learn until you come back home, and then 2 or 3 or 4 years later, you say, oh, I saw this when I was in Colombia, and there's something.
Okay.
So I love taking my experience out of the country.
Well, I love that story. But you just mentioned what karate has done for you. What do you think it does for the development of a community?
Well, I have been sensitized heavily towards different cultures mainly. There are people that we categorize as lesser fortunate than ourselves, less fortunate than ourselves. And it's just perspective, really, to understand and to learn, not to judge, to be patient. Some people, different people come with different abilities. The other countries are huge on Special Olympics. The time, and I've seen the time, and it's my heart is in the Special Olympics. I would like to get into that as well. I need proper training. I would like to get into that. Just the admiration. My students, they fly, they learn geography, they understand borders and issues from different cultures, history from a different culture, and they can compare it to here. We've never had civil wars in Belize. All of those things. It just all around sensitizes you to everything, and you take a step back before you cast judgment, or before you express an unvalidated opinion, without really thinking about it. There's a maturity that comes with it.
Okay, that's nice. We are out of time, but before we go, are there any words that you would have for an aspiring martial artist here in Belize?
An aspiring martial artist, any word. If whatever school you join, it doesn't have to be the martial arts academy. Whatever school you join, you go empty, you go open-minded. Sometimes we inherit students from a different tradition, and they already, they were senior with it, and they come and they know everything already. Just go open, forget what you know. What you know will help you, but remain open to, to just build on top of that,
Okay, well, thank you for those last words, Sensei. And also thank you for sharing your experiences with us. We truly appreciate your time and your expertise here today.
All right, thanks very much.
And to our audience, stay tuned. We will be right back after the short break.